Hi, everyone. My name is Smriti P. I am a mentor with Magic and a software engineer at Google. I'm really excited to be here today and get to interview this mentee mentor pair. We have Zooni and Ira. We'll get started with some of the introductions. Zooni,
Hi, I'm Zooni, and I'm a 12th grader. I go to Foothill High School, and I live in California.
thank you. And Ira?
Hi, my name is Ira P. I'm the founder of Magic, as well as mentoring this session and a few other sessions before. I'm also a software engineer, and I work for Alphabet, specifically for Verily software.
Thank you. And I should have led with this, but congratulations. I got the opportunity to be at the final presentation today and it was fantastic. It was also amazing just to see all of the work that all these mentees have done in such a short time frame. So Zuni, can you tell us like a little summary of what your project was this summer?
Yeah, so I did a website that was specifically for people to look at it and use the resources on it to guide themselves on their path to like getting to the STEM career that they wanted. And I learned HTML and CSS styling on Code Academy to do it.
Very nice. What was your inspiration for even looking into this topic, like how to find the right path for you in STEM?
Well, for one thing, STEM is especially becoming really popular. You know, with the rise of like technology and AI, it's obviously going to be a very popular choice. And so I figured it would help a lot of people. And I figured a website specifically would be a very good way to like guide them because it's very easy to navigate through.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think, and there's so many, I think, misconceptions and ideas that people have about these careers, or even don't even know all of the different kinds of careers you can have in this field. So it seems like it'll be a really great resource. Were you able to share it with, friends, family, anyone at school?
My family saw the presentation, so yeah, they have.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great to get, I'm envisioning like, even in sharing this with maybe your school, there would be like it would help kids thinking about where to go to college, what they might want to study, maybe give them a wider horizon to look at than just sometimes STEM gets boxed into one thing and you might just think of like a software engineer, but there's so much more that can happen there. So I'm sure it'll be a valuable resource for your classmates and things like that as they start thinking about their future and what to study. Very cool. Ira, did you have, I mean, you have definitely a background in this area of different paths and things like that. How did you find yourself kind of involved in the process of the content or the technology in building the website?
Yeah, of course, I've been doing this for a while, so this topic is very near and dear to my heart. But before I answer that question, I want to qualify a statement that Zuni said. So Zuni said, even in the Q&A of the presentation, she said, website is easy to get information from. I just want to qualify that a good website is easy to disseminate. If you have a bad website, you can actually really get lost and turned off of STEM. But having said that, so how I have had mentees in the past make websites, some, do games and things like that. This was interesting because um, Zuni wanted to focus on STEM and STEM careers. So that made this project very special. She also, I often give a choice to my mentees. Do you want to learn the very basics? Do you want to do this from scratch? Or do you want to use, existing libraries to do the project that you want that you intend to do? And I tend to like learning from scratch because then you can always learn, once you know the basics, you can always assess other software tools that you have. And I didn't have to convince Zuni at all. She started with, I want to learn how to make a website. So I was very pleased with the fact that she actually went to the nitty gritties.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think I've had the same approach with my mentees too, and I think having those foundations, then you can go and use other things and at least understand them and understand their capabilities and how to change them. So, Zuni, a little bit about that experience actually learning HTML and CSS. What were the challenges? Was there anything that surprised you?
Overall, in the beginning, it was really easy. Like, I think with HTML, I learned pretty quickly. I think it was the CSS part that was definitely hard for me. And Ira taught me really well, and that's how I improved.
Yeah, I think I've shared the same. Like sometimes in CSS you just don't know what's happening and why it's happening, and getting to the root of that is can be pretty complex. Was there something you really enjoyed about it, or you're kind of looking forward to learn more about?
I think the part that made it better was so Ira showed me how to use like W3 schools, and that shows the specific problems that I had. And I think that was what I found easier to learn, and that helped me improve the website.
Right. Yeah, finding the right resources. It's like there are so many online resources, and sometimes the resources are good, but also depending where you're coming from, your the way that you learn, it's like can really make a difference. So I'm happy you were able to find a great tool for that. Do you think you mentioned that there's some more things that you want to do with the website? Did you have ideas of other tools or projects that were inspired by your work here, either on the website side or thinking more about different career paths in STEM?
I think in the future, I would want to explore first, I guess, different career paths. I'm not like fully sure what specific field I would go into,
Yeah,
like the exact parts. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's always a great idea, and it's always good to know what you like and what you don't like. So putting yourself out there and trying out a lot of different things is great. I think one thing that would be cool to highlight too, maybe in your website, is even like words from maybe women in STEM about different fields. So you kind of have a personal experience or someone who has gone through that path. But if it's mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, biology, whatever it might be, that would add like a flavor of like real person gives real feedback on what it's like to be in that field, especially increasing access to that. So being in part of Magic, for example, you probably now have access to people like this, but for folks who might just stumble upon your website online or something like that, then they now have this access that would be really cool. Yeah.
Hmm.
Ira, question for you. Is there anything in this mentoring experience that you learned or were reminded of that you want to take into your next mentoring opportunity?
It's always celebrating the winning moments. And so things can be hard, but kind of persevering through it and then seeing the mentee really get it and run with it. So there was a time when Zuni was very busy and hadn't been able to do some of the work. And then we talked about responsibility, and she just amazed me the very next week with all these nice looking images, and she had done a huge amount of work on the website. So there are ups and downs always in every relationship, in every journey, even when you have a full-time job. Things, there are ups and downs, but I'm just keeping focus on the end goal and knowing that you'll make mistakes, learn from it, and move forward. And I think Zuni has done a really good job of that.
That's wonderful to hear. And Zuni, a final question for you. Now you're on the other side of the magic session, looking back at yourself, maybe 10 weeks ago, and maybe for new mentees that come along, do you have any advice?
I'd say ask for help when you need it, definitely. Because I think the most helpful part for me was learning from Ira, like the parts that I didn't understand, because sometimes I couldn't always learn just from the websites alone. I needed her to teach me, and she taught me really well. And so that I think that was what really got me through to making the website.
That's really great advice, and something that I've heard, I think, throughout college and throughout now being in a job is like ask questions, don't be afraid to ask questions and ask for help. So I sounds like a lot of great takeaways that both of you have had. It was really a pleasure getting to interview the two of you and hear a little bit more about the experience. I'm excited to see what you'll do next, Zooni, and congratulations again to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.